Hey everybody, it's Peggy. I'm back again with another video, and today's topic is a bit of a screw up on my part. So I even made notes. That's how strongly I felt about making sure that I hit on the important points. This is all about how to have a successful holiday season as a seller. That's what I got going on here. Let me just see. I'll get to it. Yeah, some tips to help prepare for the Christmas rush. Okay. And I went, oh, damn it. Because I got busy. It was Christmas, right? It's Christmas, you get busy. It's like, I screwed up. I should have had this out like almost 2 months ago now, right? So, but what I realized is that we have other holidays throughout the year, and it's going to be just as relevant. For some people, most of their stuff gets sold at, well, this is Valentine's right now. We're in the Valentine's part right now, but then we're going to be going into Easter. Labor Day, Canada has Victoria Day, the United States has Independence Day. Depending on what you sell, there are certain holidays that are going to be way more important to you than Christmas, so this is still relevant. I kind of realized this is still relevant, so I'm going to go ahead and do this anyway. I'm going to label it. I think I'm going to title it Christmas/holiday. I don't know, because this is the most obvious stuff that happens at Christmas time. It's really obvious at Christmas because Christmas, you start off with Canadian Thanksgiving. Up here, I'm Canadian, but especially in the States, you go from U.S. Thanksgiving all the way through to Christmas and New Year's, and that's like in the space of a little over a month. So a lot of really intense shit happens. Christmas is usually everybody's busy season. So anyway, so I'm going to try and stay on track. It's not going to fucking happen. I'm not going to stay on track. I'm going to get off on my rant, but I'm going to go through this because this is really important, because what happens every year, okay, this is what happens every Christmas. Right about now, it's already happening. We're going to get this big, huge fucking rush of Etsy shut me down, and I don't know why. It's going to start happening right around now. Because Christmas is busy for everybody, and so Etsy hasn't had a chance to get caught up on buyers that have been screwing up on how they handle their Christmas stuff. This is easy. It's avoidable. It's not problems that you need to take on for yourself, but there's shit that you need to know so that you can make this easy and avoidable. So I'm going to tell you the shit. You can decide what that does or doesn't mean to you, but this has been my observation, and I see this every time there's a holiday, and especially at Christmas. I started calling it the purge, because every Christmas every Christmas sellers that are screwing up and don't know it, this is when they find out. Or a lot of sellers are screwing up and they know it, and they think they can continue getting away with it through the Christmas season. And Christmas season, when things are so insanely busy, is usually when fundamental issues come to the surface. Most of them are avoidable. So keep that in mind. Every single thing that I'm going to tell you is all avoidable shit. You just need to know about it. Take notes, bookmark this one. This is a really, really important one, because I see so many really good shops go out of business at this time of year because they think that I do this during the year, so it's not a problem if I do this over Christmas. So we're gonna get into it. So number one is to set an end date where you will stop taking orders on your seasonal products, your Christmas stuff, your Valentine's stuff, your Easter stuff, your whatever. Set an end date. Because when a customer is buying something with a particular holiday or occasion in mind, if they don't get it in time, they complain. If there's a shit ton of complaints coming in, Etsy's going to have a problem with you. And so if you tend to be a little slow to get stuff out the door, you can get away with that during the rest of the year. But at Christmas time, if you're slammed with 400 orders and 100 of them didn't get there on time, and you now have 100 complaints, Etsy's really going to take a look at you. That's when you get in trouble, right? That's when the shit gets out of control and you get in trouble. Etsy doesn't care if you're late once in a while, but if you're like, oh, it's okay if you've got the mindset, it's okay if things are late because you've always gotten away with it, and then expect to get away with it over Christmas holidays as well, you're going to be in for a nasty surprise. Okay, so if your shop is 100%, if you sell Christmas ornaments and that's all you sell, consider after your end date hits to actually put your shop on vacation mode. So if you are strictly selling Easter products and Easter's coming up, When is the last realistic day when you know that the majority of your customers are going to have their stuff in time for the Easter holiday, right? So I didn't even look up when Easter was. Okay, Valentine's. Let's say Valentine's. So if you know that an order after February 8th could not possibly reach their customer by February 14th, delist your Valentine stuff. Relist it after the holiday when your customer already knows that they've missed the event, right? If you're, we even just had Super Bowl. If you're selling stuff that people are going to use for the Super Bowl, when is the last reasonable date when you know that they're going to get it on time? Because people have events. Okay, that's the first one. So, if you're still selling Christmas cards, if you're still, like I said, I jotted all this down with Christmas in mind, and then got so busy I never found the time to film it. So if you sell Christmas ornaments, it's vital. If you're still selling Christmas cards on December 24th, don't be surprised if you have a ton of open cases by December 25th. There's no way stuff is showing up on time. Be aware of if you are holiday centric in your sales, be aware of the date beyond which packages will not get to their customer. This is also beneficial if you sell birthday stuff. Somebody contacts you and says, I want a birthday card for my son, and his birthday is in 3 days. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't fucking help you. If you can't get it to them, if you cannot realistically promise it to them within 3 days, and don't forget, this is 3 business days. If it's Friday and they say, I need it by Monday, you're not getting it to them by Monday. Even though you've got 3 days, it's not 3 business days, and the post office doesn't run on the weekends. Okay. So Etsy is not going to be very friendly to you if you're taking orders that you realistically should know won't show up on time. You can't just go, well, the customer should have known and not ordered it. It's like, sorry, no, you should not have accepted the sale. Consider going on vacation mode. Okay, order extra supplies. So a lot of Etsy shops get the order, then make the item. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're taking on tons and tons and tons of orders, and basically my advice is don't take anything that you don't already have the supplies on hand for. So again, Christmas is the example that I had in mind when I wrote this. If you're doing Christmas ornaments and you need glitter, I don't know, make sure you have extra on hand. If you're not going to make your item until you actually have the order in, then the last thing you need is to run out of supplies. Especially if you expect your customer to wait and you're going to ship late. So you've got 400 orders come in, but you can only fill 100 of them because you don't have enough supplies, and your supplier ran out because it's the holidays. They got slammed with other sellers looking for the same supplies. Don't forget, sorry, I'm just going to do that there. Don't forget, Etsy all by itself has 7.5 million sellers. If 1 million people, and it's not unrealistic, if 1 million people have at least a few Christmas items for sale in their shops, you can expect Christmas-related fabrics, ribbons, glitter, paints, whatever. You can expect Christmas-themed stuff to start disappearing. So if you need it for your business, make sure you have it. Get extra and get it early. And don't forget, as much as things are opening back up again, we are still dealing with the aftermath of COVID. So at certain times of the year, things are going to get even, I mean, we're getting better at it. But you are trying to get stuff done, and you may find out that, like right now, the rule is if you have COVID, you're still supposed to stay home. I don't know what it is in your area, so I can only speak for my area. But if I need to go get a particular fabric and it turns out that there's been a run of COVID through my favorite fabric store, I better know where else I can go get it, because that department will not be open. Hasn't happened yet. I've gotten really lucky. My favorite fabric store takes all the precautions, and I'm not there every single day anyway. So anyway. So Etsy will not take your side if you accept an order and then make your buyer wait for weeks past the ships by date because your supplies are late. Don't forget, you live and die by your ships by date, by the date that you promised you were going to have it in the mail. You can contact your customer and say, hey, it's going to be late. Are you okay with that? And if they're okay with that, you can update your shipping date and life is good. But you can't just make them wait. You can't do it. Oh, well, I have a no refunds policy. Nope. The minute it goes past the minute it goes past your ships by date, the minute your policies rely on you keeping your promises. If you go past your ships by date, and then your policies mean nothing. Anyway, pre-make as much as you can. Now I don't, and this is again, I make my product and then I post it. But if you take the sale and then make the product, are there parts of that product that you can pre-make? Can you, there's a noise back there. It was a loud one. I didn't like it. I might decide to go check it out. Anyway, I think it was my washing machine. Okay, so make the whole thing if you can. If you normally wait for the order to come in and then make the product, if you have already been selling this product and already been having some success with it, you may already know, oh, well, again, at Christmas time, the red stuff always goes really, really fast. Make a bunch in advance. Keep a few, even a fast food place, when they know the rush is coming, they'll throw a few extra patties on the grill. Okay, think like that. Start thinking like that. Is there something that you can pre-make? If you make cards, is it possible to pre-make? Say your cards have to be trimmed to a certain size before they go in the printer. Is it possible to sit down and get a couple of hundred of them done? Is there something that you do, even a small? I will point this out. Even a tiny, tiny piece of the work adds up. So say you take a piece of paper and you make a special card and you cut it to a square, then sit down and cut a couple hundred pieces of paper to a square. That's a lot of time to save when you're trying to get a couple of hundred of them done. Okay. Got to keep everything moisturized or I'm going to start hacking a cob. It's still dry in here. It shouldn't be. But anyway, okay, where are we? If you don't already know how much of a workload you can handle. And this, again, these are all back to making sure you're getting your shit in the mail on time and before, after, pick a cutoff date. Okay, there's no way, even if I get it in the mail right this minute, it's not going to get to you in time for your event. And like I said, if you do birthday stuff or anniversary stuff, figure that out. Figure that out. If somebody orders an anniversary banner from you, and you know that you need a minimum of 5 days, or it will not get to them on time, then cancel any order that wants it less than 5 days. Don't torture yourself. Okay. So if you don't already know how much of a workload you can handle, sort that out. So basically, this goes back to sit down, make one, have a timer. If you know that it takes you 1 hour, this is the example, right? If it takes you an hour to make one item, then you know you can do, and then how much time are you willing to put into this? Are you willing to put in 60 hours a week in order to accept 60 sales? What happens if you get 100 sales? Are you screwed? You could also judiciously use vacation mode for this. Oh my God, I've got 100 orders. Okay, I'm going to bust this out, but I'm going on vacation mode till it's done so that I don't have 100 more orders that I can't get done on time building up. Be very aware of how long it takes you to do stuff. And you can sort that out. Just next time you get an order for one, or just, if you already have extra materials on hand, it doesn't have to be pretty. So you got a whole bunch of leftover materials. Oh, this is ugly. That doesn't go with that. Oh, I was going to throw that out. Fine. Make a pile. Sit down. Turn a timer on. Everything has a timer on it these days. Make one. It doesn't have to be pretty. You're not going for a sale. You're going for a time check. How much time do you need to get one item done? We'll tell you multiply that by how much time you think you have in a week to work. And if you're going to get helpers, say you're going to get your kids to help, how much time does it take them to make one? I don't know. It depends on what your expectations are. If there's people that come in and they get thousands of sales over Christmas. Christmas is, like I said, the big thing. But there are people who come in and get thousands of sales over Easter, thousands of sales over Mother's Day. There are people that get thousands of sales over whatever it is that they do, and then they forget to find out just how many products they can handle dealing with. Everything from prepping the materials, making the item, packaging it, getting it in the mail, the time that it takes to get it to the post office. It's not a huge, huge problem. All you need to do is time check yourself on 2 or 3 of the items to get a rough idea. You've got your math. You got a little sticker on the wall that says, I can take this many orders, and after that, I have to stop or take a break or communicate with my buyers. Hey, thank you for your order. Just so you know, it's going to be, there's no way I can get it to you before this date. Is that okay? You're allowed to do that. Okay. Adjust your inventory based on number 4, which is if you don't already know how much of a workload you can handle. There's no point in buying 1,000 of something to stock up for yourself if you know that you can only handle making 20 a week, if you only got time for that. Yeah, okay. Adjust your inventory. So people complain, I don't want to have to buy all of this stuff because what if it doesn't sell? So you figure out how much inventory you want to keep on hand of pre-made or partially made products. And I'll tell you right now, if you have a product that can be pre-made and you have a few extra bucks so that you can afford to pre-make a small stockpile of that stuff, that's golden. That's what you do. If Christmas is your thing, take all of your leftover Christmas materials, make Christmas stuff now for next year. Store it in dust-proof containers. And then next year, you've got an inventory ready to just pop up and it's done. Okay. So if you can only so adjust your inventory based on how much time. If you can take 60 orders a week, then it's only going to take a couple of weeks before you're so far behind you'll never catch up. And like I said, we're talking about getting 100 or 200 orders a week, right? And if you're getting 1 to 200 orders a week, but you know you can only make 60 orders before you're going to start falling behind, then you know you're not going to catch up once you hit 200-300 orders. You really need to be planning for this. Etsy terminates shops that don't ship on time. And the season doesn't matter. Because if you're not shipping on time, as a matter of fact, Christmas season, it kind of starts to matter a little bit more because you could end up with thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in order that you have no hope of getting to people before Christmas. That's a lot of freaking money. And Etsy's not going to let people get screwed out of that much money. Because that's how Etsy sees it. I mean, they don't know you. 7.5 million sellers. They don't know you. Your reasons don't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a legitimate reason or not. Oh my God, this happened and I got really far behind. I just going, then why didn't you go on vacation mode? That's one of the things that vacation mode exists for. There are ways to fix this. You make less money, but you're still in business for the next year and the next year and the next year so that you can grow. Okay. Number 7, vacation mode is your best friend at this time of year. So again, if your product, and again, this is, I jotted this down and got it all set up with Christmas in mind, and then totally got busy and missed the Christmas holiday, but there's other holidays. I just need to remind you guys at every single step because you know. Anyway, vacation mode is your best friend at this time of year. And if you're, like I said, when is your Christmas, all right? Okay, if you get overwhelmed with orders, go on vacation mode for a few days to catch up. This is vital. You would rather, it is more beneficial to you from a financial standpoint to lose a few dollars now from orders that you're not taking than have your business shut down and not ever be able to take any order ever again. Think of when you are looking at this right now going, I'm so far behind, I don't know what to do. Go on vacation mode, because if you fuck this up, I'll figure it out. I need the money. I need the money. It's like, you're going to need the money next year too. Keep that in mind. Losing a few bucks now while you get caught up and saving your business from being terminated is much more important than getting a few extra bucks now, getting terminated, and having nothing for next year. Because don't forget, if Etsy shuts you down, it's permanent. They don't let you back in, ever. And they're allowed to do that. So you're not just, I guess I have to start over again. It's like, not with Etsy, you won't. It's done. It's done. And Etsy, if you're succeeding at Etsy, don't take risks that you don't need to take. Use vacation mode if you have to. And don't worry. People believe that vacation mode, if I go on vacation mode, it's going to take me weeks to start building momentum again. So what? So what? If you are so far behind that you can't catch up, you're going to lose your shop. They may catch you right away. They may catch you right away and get rid of you, or after Christmas when they're cleaning. It's like cleaning up the tinsel after Christmas, right? Once they're at that stage, then they've got time to go look at you and go, yeah, you didn't get anything out on time. This is a problem. You're gone. They don't want you back next year. They want people to get shit out the door on time. Okay. Yep. Losing a few dollars today is better than losing all future earnings. I mean, if you're on Etsy and if you're on Etsy and you're overwhelmed with too many orders, then you're already putting a lot of work into this. Don't fuck that up. Don't fuck that up for a few bucks today when, think of the bucks tomorrow. Okay. Pay extra attention to the quality of your products. Now, this is a bit of a thing. I'm just going to read right from my thing. Some sellers get so overwhelmed trying to keep up that they let quality slide for the sake of speed. So that's a risk. I'm so far behind. I'm so tired. I'm working while I'm exhausted. And again, this goes back to all the other things. You're trying so hard to, okay, an order comes in. I want to keep that money. That noise is, it's my washing machine. Fucking thing. This is one of the great perks about working from home. I take care of little chores in little snippets off and on throughout the entire day, so I don't have to come home at the end of the day and spend an hour cleaning my house. It's already done. I need to do a top 10 reasons why I like working from home. Get to work in my pajamas. You guys don't even know if I'm wearing pants. Think about that. Stop cringing. Just think about that. Okay, so some sellers get so overwhelmed trying to keep up that they let quality slide for the sake of speed. And sometimes it's happening and you don't even know it. You're exhausted, you're tired, you're frazzled, you're in a rush. Be careful about your quality because you've solved your getting the shit out the door on time problem, and now you've caused the my stuff is showing up broken problem, and Etsy doesn't like that either. Too many open cases, they'll shut you down. I don't like it. I'd love to just go, yeah, fuck that shit. I just put some shit out there. Nah, you know what? I like putting out quality. Quality is important. Your customer can't go, oh, I prefer this one. It's a little nicer than that one. They have to expect that both are going to be equally nice, right? If you are getting people to help you, this is a really important quality consideration. If it's like Christmas gets really busy, so I'm going to hire somebody, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Train them early. Trying to train somebody while you're trying to rush this shit out the door, while you don't have time to double check their work as thoroughly as you'd like to be double checking their work, is it's just a recipe for disaster. So, yes, get extra helpers in if you can. If you need extra people to help you, get those people in. Get them trained early. Get them trained early enough so that they can also be aware of what quality does and doesn't look like. Because if you just hire some neighbor kid to do a bunch of stuff for you and don't have time to train them properly, you know exactly what you're going to get. And it's not going to be that kid's fault. It's not going to be your fault either, but Etsy's not going to care if there's 100 open cases in a week. Okay. 8A, be aware that your policies are void if the product is defective. This is where a lot of people lose a lot of money over the holidays. They end up turning a successful holiday season into a failure because something went wrong. They're in a hurry, stressed out, working while exhausted. I'm not blaming you for it. I'm just pointing out, be aware that this can happen and plan for that. Make sure it's not going to happen to you. So if your product is defective or not as described or damaged due to improper packaging, that customer may be willing to accept a replacement, but you have to offer them the option of a full refund. And the replacement, they don't pay for shipping. Oh, I don't offer refunds, but I'm happy to replace this. Well, if the product is defective, you are happy to offer a refund. That is Etsy's policy. Your policies only protect you provided the product has shown up intact and it's what the customer ordered. If you accidentally if they order the blue one and you send the red one, too bad, so sad. And you can't force them to return it unless you are paying for the shipping label. So it's like, oh, I'll give you a refund once you mail that back to me. It's like, you will send them a postage paid label, and then you can ask them to send it back, but you will still give them the refund. You have to. It's Etsy policies. This really screws a lot of people up at holiday time because it's like, well, it's not my fault because it's like, Etsy doesn't care. Etsy does not care that the kid you hired fucked up 30 of your last orders and now you need to refund them all. They don't care. Because people send crap out and expect Etsy by every single excuse in the book. They've heard every excuse that exists. So when your excuse happens to be the truth, they're just not interested. It's just not realistic. Okay. So if something shows, if you send out the wrong item, if it's not as described, like I said, they ordered the blue one, you send the red one. If it's broken, if it shows up damaged, defective, if it's personalized and it's like, oh yeah, I want you to put Smith on it, and you go Smith and don't put the H, that's your fault. You are you are offering them the choice of a replacement at no charge, including the cost of shipping, or a full refund, which includes you're refunding any shipping charges that you've charged them. You don't get to charge a restocking fee, and you do not get to make them pay for the return. You can ask them, you can tell them, I will need that back, I'll send you a label. And once tracking shows that it's in the mail, I'm happy, I'll issue you your refund at that point. You can do that. But if they make a complaint with Etsy, I mean, if you try to pull I have a 20% restocking fee. Hey, sorry, no, you don't, because it was your screw up. If it's your screw up, it's your responsibility, 100%, and then that's everything. And again, like I said, if you send a replacement, you can't offer a replacement and say, I'm happy to replace this, but you need to pay for the shipping. It's like, no, they don't. So keep this in mind, because Christmas time, holiday times, is when you're most likely going to make mistakes, and it's most likely when you're going to roll the mistake forward and not notice for a while. And so, okay, you're not going to automatically screw up just because you get 100 orders in. If you get 100 orders in, but you need 2 hours to make each item, and now you've got to work an 80-hour week to make this happen, 80 to 100-hour week to make this happen, you're going to get tired, distracted, exhausted. That's when you're going to make mistakes. This is not saying that you're a screw up. This is saying the situation is going to make you screw up. And just be aware. I'm not saying don't take orders, but be aware, and plan for it. Be aware. If I end up with this many orders, I'm going to be fucking so burnt out. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. So I have to plan for it. Okay. I'm on to the next page already. This is going faster than I thought it was going to go. I've only been here for 27 minutes. Okay. I really harp on the part, I know I've mentioned this over and over again in multiple videos. I really do harp on the part that if the mistake or problem was your fault where you've missed. Okay, when it comes to custom, you can on custom orders, you can say no refunds or exchanges. You can do that. But if you screw up that custom order, it doesn't matter. Well, this was a custom order, so I'm not going to give you a refund. It's like, yeah, but you spelled the name wrong. You used defective materials, you didn't get it in the mail on time, then it does become your fault. Be aware of this. People that don't really understand this piece of how Etsy works really get themselves in trouble at holiday time, because like I said, you've got this you normally get 5 orders a day, and now you're getting 50. So you've multiplied the number of orders you've had, so you've also multiplied the number of mistakes that you're making if you are making those mistakes. So, and again, Christmas time is just when things happen the most, but I'm just going to say it again and again. I got to restart. Don't worry, I didn't cut anything out. I don't think I'm going to edit this at all. Screw it. No, my camera cuts out every 30 minutes just to make sure that I'm still actually paying attention to it and I'm not just running the battery down for no good reason. Anyway, keep that in mind. This is something that I'm going to harp on again and again and again and again. I am never going to stop beating this horse, no matter how dead it gets. If you have screwed up, you owe the customer either a full refund or a replacement. Full refund includes the cost of shipping. Full refund does not include any restocking fees that you are not allowed to charge. Okay, you are allowed to charge a restocking fee. This is normal and it happens, unless you're the one who's screwed up. Oh, my stuff showed up broken because you didn't put any packing peanuts in the box. Oh, okay, here's your refund. And it's buyer's choice, not yours. You don't get to decide whether your refund. Okay, you can decide to refund. You can say, hey, I'm really sorry that this happened. I know I screwed up, but I am not in a position to replace this item. Here is your full refund. You can do that because it is recognized that, maybe it's a unique material and maybe you're just not able to get more of that material, whatever, right? You don't owe them an apology. You should You should try, well, if it's your screw up, you should apologize. You don't need to write them a book telling them everything about what's going on from your end of things, but if it's not possible to properly replace the item, you can say so and then just give them a full refund, including the cost of shipping and any other charges they have paid, if it's your fault. This is the thing. If you have an interaction with a customer that goes badly and they open a case and there's one open case and Etsy says, oh, no, you screwed this one up, so you do have to give the full refund, that's fine. And that can happen to you throughout the year. But when there's 100 happening all at once over a holiday season, it's going to have a completely different outcome for you. You're not going to have a good time. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so keep that one policy in mind. If it is your screw up, then you can have a much bigger problem, especially at the holiday time when you have more sales and more chances that script's going to happen. And if a customer reports you for doing this, and then they do an account review and see that this is your policy and this is what you always have been, this is one of those Etsy shut me down and I don't know why. Oh, I never do this and I always do that. And it's like, but how many customers have actually reported you for it? Or contacted Etsy customer service and talked to them about this? And you never know what's going to launch an account review, right? And don't be afraid of that. I mean, if you screw up, Etsy is not looking for reasons to fuck over buyers at every opportunity, because if people weren't coming in to buy from us, then Etsy's income comes from the fees that we pay. So it's very much, it's not a parasitic relationship, it's a symbiotic relationship. Anyway, just keep that in mind. Keep it in mind that if you screw up, your screw-ups are going to be more problematic over holiday season than they are any other time of the year, and are more likely to cause you serious problems. And again, screwing up happens. Screwing up isn't a big deal. It's what you do about it. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I have a policy. I don't do refunds. It's like, you screwed up. You screwed up. You gave me, it was the wrong color and the name was spelt wrong, and the messages prove that. So no, this was your screw up. You're giving me. I don't give full refunds. I'll give you 10%. Oh, no, you won't. You'll give everything. This is not the time to go. Holiday season is not the time to go to war with a customer who's already unhappy and already isn't going to get their thing on time. Or the thing showed up on time and now they can't have it. Oh, this would have been nice if I could have it. Like, you know what I mean? This is not the time. This is not the time to go to war with a customer, especially when now you know if it's your fault. Fault can be, oh, I screwed up. I put the wrong, I did that just a few weeks ago. I literally put the wrong mailing label on the wrong package. They each got sent the wrong thing. They were great about it. I'll tell you right now, this goes back to customer service 101. The relationships that you build with your customers will play a huge role in how these problems are going to be resolved going forward. Anyway, this is an interesting one, and I have seen this happen over and over and over and over again, and I am not working at the back. I am not some Etsy shill that works at the back end and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But I have seen this happen, and I know causation doesn't equal correlation does not equal causation, but I do think there's a link here. And this is, do not make any promises to your buyer regarding shipping times. Okay? Buyer comes in, I ordered some Christmas ornaments on the 23rd. Will they show up in time for Christmas? Oh, if I expedite the package, it should. That's a promise. Never. If it's already looking like, I don't know if it's going to show up on time, don't promise. Oh yeah, as long as it's in the mail, I can get that in the mail tonight. It doesn't show up on time, Etsy doesn't fucking care. You put in writing that it will. The minute you make a promise, okay. We as Etsy sellers are not responsible for postal delays. Ever. If something is delayed in the mail, it is not our problem. Our problem is to get it into the mail by our promised deadline. If we say that we will have this package in the mail in 3 days, that it is our promise that within 3 days that package will have been delivered to the post office and be on its way. Once the post office has it, we are not responsible for postal delays unless we've made a promise. Oh, I really need this. Today is the 1st, and I really need this by the 4th. Is it going to show up on time? Oh, yes, yes, it will. That's your promise. You've now changed the rules. You've offered them something that you can't. You've made a promise based on somebody else's activities. The minute you say, The minute you say to them, it will be there in time, the minute you say it will, then that changes the rules. Okay? It's just like you have your own, it's just like you're allowed to have your own policies, but if you are, if something shows up, if you've done something to the product, if there's a problem with the product and it's your fault, your policies no longer apply. We are not responsible for postal delays unless we have made a promise. Then postal delays are not the issue. The issue is that we made a promise that is now not being kept. If you are not sure that something, unless you are 1,000%, I mean, I've had people say, will this show up on time? And I know them personally, and I've said, I think it might, but I'm not going to promise you that. I will never, ever, ever promise a delivery time. If it's somebody I know, and I already have had a conversation with them that I know, oh, I'm okay with it if it's late, but I'd really like to know, are the chances looking good? It's like, the chances look good, but it's still, the delays are still possible. Even that is too much of a promise for Etsy. Okay? So, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so if a buyer messages you asking if their product will arrive in time for their holiday event, never say yes. I don't care if it's November 1st and they want it for New Year's Day. Never say yes. Just say postal delays can happen at any time for any reason, so I can guarantee that it will be in the mail by this date. I cannot guarantee that a postal delay will not happen. Pardon me. Okay. So I will, response is, use generic responses like, I'll be dropping your package in the mail on the date, and I expect you should receive it within X number of business days. But however, I cannot guarantee that there will be no seasonal postal delays. Make it clear as you can. And don't forget, Etsy can read every single message that you send. So make it clear, make it understandable. But don't just say, sure, absolutely, I'll expedite this for you. You know what happens, especially at Christmas time? The post office will not guarantee delivery even on expedited packages. At least up here in Canada. Well, up here in Canada, and even last year in the States. Last year in the States, UPS would not guarantee expedited delivery. After, I forget what the date, there was a deadline, but after a certain date, they would not guarantee expedited delivery. In Canada, I won't guarantee delivery to the States at all because we have customs to get through and customs delays. If things go really, really, I don't know, don't want to say badly in customs, but customs will inspect a certain percentage of packages crossing the border, and if one of my packages gets selected for inspection, depending on the delays at the border, that could take up to 30 days to make it just past the border. I won't make guarantees, right? So don't make promises about the shipping times. You can make promises on when you're going to get it in the mail, and make sure that you're getting it in the mail. If you have to delay shipping with a customer, this is something else. Seasonally, this happens a lot. Something comes up, you get delayed, and now you told your customer it was going to be in the mail by the 5th, but now you found out that it's not going to be in the mail by till the 7th. Technically, as far as Etsy's concerned, you must contact your customer, let them know it's going to be late, because you're now outside of your policies. Your policies aren't just what you're willing to do for the customer. My policy is that I'll have a package in the mail in, like, I think I say 10 business days. I give myself a nice wide window. If I'm going on, so that's also a policy. My policy is that whatever date you say you will have your stuff in the mail by, that's your policy. As soon as you go outside of your policies, none of your policies apply. You default to Etsy's policies. Okay, let's get back to on track, stay on track. Okay, so if your package is going to be late, you can extend the shipping time. You cannot do that. It is a violation of Etsy's terms of service to extend the shipping time without the buyer's knowledge or consent. You have to let them know that you're extending it, and they have to agree to it. And if you are going to be late shipping something, you have to offer them a refund. You have to offer them an opportunity to cancel and get a full refund. Oh, I said this was going to be, I'm going to be late shipping. I need to extend my shipping date from the 5th to the 10th. And the customer goes, well, I want a refund. Okay, I'll give you a partial. No, you're violating Etsy's TOS and can lose your shop for it. Now, these policies are not, I'll tell you right now, you're going to find, you're going to find that most of the policies that you need to be serious, there are policies that may or may not affect you. The policies that are going to fuck you up right away, there's not that many of them. There are not that many policies that are going to fuck you up right away. People just lose track of how this applies, how this is really going to affect them. If I extend shipping time and don't contact my customer and don't communicate with my customer, and my customer does not notice and does not care, then nothing's going to happen. Right? But if my customer does notice, does care, and does open a case, Etsy is not going to side with me at all. An account review is something that happens when there's enough little triggers happening that they put your shop in queue for a manual review by a real live human being. Now, if I'm doing this all the fucking time, and they can see that, oh, how often do they push back their shipping time? Oh, 40% of the time we better review them. And they see that you're doing this all the time and not communicating with you, lose your shop. Etsy shut me down and I don't know why. Oh, are you constantly fucking with your shipping times and not telling your customer, not getting their consent? So this is something that happens especially at the holidays. So you've got something that's going in the mail and it's like, there is no way I'm getting this in the mail on time. I need to push off my shipping date by a week. Okay. Contact your customer. Hey, customer, there's no way I'm getting this in the mail on time. I need to push back my shipping time by a week. Is that going to work for you? Customer says no. Not a problem. Your full refund, including the cost of shipping, without any restocking fees, is on the way. If you've already paid for materials, that's your problem because you screwed up. That's how Etsy sees it, and they've got 7.5 million sellers to wrangle. That's how they're going to see it. They have to have hard lines on certain things. This is one of them. Okay. Customer comes back and says, sure, not a problem. Absolutely. Then you push off your ship time, you're good to go. Customer ignores you. Doesn't respond, doesn't get the message, doesn't whatever. Well, you can look up their email address and try to contact them directly. It's Etsy related and you're allowed to do that. Customer continues to ignore you. You have to cancel the sale. You have to cancel the sale. You cannot allow the sale to progress knowing that the customer has had no feedback and no opportunity to choose what they want to do with their shipping date. People do, and I see this all the time. I see this in my group all the time. It's like, oh, if they don't respond, I just push back the shipping date. Okay. And then what happens if they come back 2 weeks later and go, what the fuck are you doing? I never gave you permission I never said I was okay with this. I want my money back. You have to give them a full refund, even if they've already got the bloody product. And you can't play fucking games. Well, you have to return it first at your expense, and I'm going to charge you a restocking fee. It's like, I'm going to contact abuse@etsy.com and get you shut down. It can get that ugly that quickly. It usually doesn't. I'm going to tell you right now, most buyers are very kind, decent, easy to work with people. But don't fuck them over. Don't get ignorant with them. Don't do stupid shit, right? Now I'm playing the doom and gloom game. It is important to understand how this works because the minute you understand, oh, don't push back shipping times, okay. It's not that fucking big of a problem to fix. But people think they're competing and getting a leg up on the competition by, oh, I put 24-hour turnaround time and then I just push back the shipping. It's like, no, you can't do that. The minute you do that without your customer's consent, and you don't have to beg on your fucking knees. It's like, hey, I'm just checking in. Checking in. I had a delay getting some materials. I'm not going to be able to get your thing out. Give a realistic deadline for them. I'm not going to be able to get your thing done for probably about another 2 days. Is that going to be okay if I ship it? So I'll be shipping a little late. Is that okay? Yeah, not a problem. Okay, you're done. The conversation's over. Go ahead and push back your shipping time. But wait for the response. Get a response. This is why I am hugely opposed to giving 24 to 48 hour shipping times on physical products. Because you send me a notice saying you need to push back the shipping time and I'm not hovering over my Etsy account and don't get back to you, then yeah, you're supposed to cancel it. You're supposed to cancel. It's a big fucking risk. Give yourself a realistic shipping window. People that are accustomed to quality are accustomed to waiting for it. Keep that in mind. This is a really important thing to be aware of. Anyway, do not make any promises to your buyer regarding shipping times. Like I said, I got off on a tangent, I got off on a rant, but this is when a customer contacts you and says, will I have it by this date? Even if you're fairly confident. Now, if it's a nice, healthy 2-week window, sure. But a nice, healthy 2-week window the week before Christmas means fuck all. It means nothing. So yeah, be realistic. Don't make it look like, sound like, or act like a promise. Especially don't do that in order to get the sale. If I order this now, will it be done by this day so I can have it by this event in 4 days? There's actually a scam around that. There's actually a scam around that where people order stuff because they know it can't show up in time. They know people know people. If you're an experienced online seller, you know how long it takes something to get to you. But there is a scam around that where people will order stuff at the last minute. Oh, I need this for my daughter's birthday party on. It's the 1st, and I need it for my daughter's birthday party on the 5th. Can you get it to me on time? Sure I can. 5th rolls around, it's not here. I want a refund. Blah blah blah. Because they know you can't make it on time. And guess what? Their kid. They do have a kid. The kid does have a birthday on the 15th. They're fine. They got free shit. And you played yourself. You played yourself by making promises. So yeah, don't do that because then don't do that because if you do and the customer says, hey, blah, you have to give them a refund. And if you try and fight back on giving them a refund, you're going to have big problems with Etsy. You're going to lose a lot of money. Okay, a lot of shops do not accept cancellations, especially on custom work, okay? During holiday seasons, Christmas, Easter, whatever, consider accepting cancellations anyway. If you are already super swamped, super busy, working 60, 70 hours a week to stay caught up, you do not need the distraction or the time waste or whatever. If somebody says, oh, I really need to cancel this, can I cancel this? Just say yes. Just trust me on this, because I'll tell you right now, if you're not that busy, you can say, no, I'm sorry, I don't accept cancellations and be on with your day. But if you sell Christmas ornaments and it's December 1st and they say and you've got 1,000 orders that you're trying to figure out how you're going to get this shit packed in less than a day, give them the fucking refund. So what? So you're out a few bucks of materials. That's fine. Take a look at your overall. Overall, if you are super, super, super busy, it's because you're making shit tons of money. So it's like, okay, just plan, and again, plan for it. Hey, if I get super busy, I'm probably going to accommodate cancellations because I'm going to be so busy trying to stay caught up that I do not need the distraction of anybody who might be I don't need to spend my time. I need to spend my time working on the products that are going out the door. I don't need to spend my time going to war over somebody because they want a refund, a $20 refund on something. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. So yeah, everybody has their personal opinions on that, but be aware that and that's the last point. Okay. So I order a custom card from you, and then I call you up. I message you a few days later and say I really need to cancel this, and you're like, I've got 500 other cards going out. I have got no time to fuck with you. So sure, here's your fucking money back. Whatever. The wasted materials are a business write-off. Keep that in mind. Wasted materials are a business write-off. And depending on how far along in your process you are, if you've already made the card and you're just about to put it in the mail, you can write off the full retail value of the materials and the time that you took working on it. So that's it. I think I got everything. I think I got everything that matters. But a lot of people get themselves like I said, I call it the purge because a lot of people get overwhelmed. They get behind. They start making mistakes on delivery times, on promises kept, on quality, on shipping. They just start, all the little problems start compounding. And then they just kind of, and literally, it's starting to happen now. Etsy shut me down, and I don't know why. It's because Etsy took 6 to 8 weeks to catch up to you after Christmas because of whatever you fucked up at Christmas time. Because honestly, if you've got I don't know how to express this any better than that. Anyway, I think I got everything. I think I got everything that matters. I'm going to go and edit this, get this up. I'm still going to label it Christmas because I can. Anyway, so that's it, guys. I hope that helps. I hope it was good information. And as always, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. I'm trying to take over the world one subscription at a time. Need your help. And then again, I'm just doing this for fun and shits and giggles. So if you don't want to subscribe, that's fine too. Thanks for watching, at least. And in the meantime, I'm going to get going and get back to work, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.